Welcome to the Fit to Perform podcast.
You just found the #1 health and fitness podcast for performers, and you are listening to a guest episode during which we discuss the realities of a career in the performing arts with people who are fit to talk about them.
Yes, we do. And if you like what we do, please leave us a review, or on Spotify, click that follow button.
Also, if you like our meaningful, helpful, and accurate information, then maybe you might want to be coached by us. And if so, then our coaching service, Fit to Perform, might be for you.
Yes, indeed. You can find out more information over on our Instagram, Fit to Perform West End, or on our website, fit-2.co.uk.
Moving on, we have an incredible guest for you today.
I mean, truly wonderful. What a wonderful guest. Has done so much in her career. Like recently did an award-winning spell as Nancy in Oliver at the Leeds Playhouse, which I was gutted I didn't get to see it, but everyone was raving about that production and about her in it. So, yeah, what a wonderful show, what a wonderful part to play. She's also done Godspell, Wonder Boy, the Bank of Dave sequel, which is currently on Netflix, I believe. Rock of Ages, Tina in Tina Turner. Casual Tina. She gets the shoulders out. If you're watching, you'll see the shoulders. You get the Tina shoulders. Full experience. She's also done Sister Act in Aberystwyth, Ghost, Our House, Little Shop of Horrors. The list goes on and on and on.
Yeah, she's it's the first time I've met her. Actually, she was such an absolute gem of a human being.
She's just such a wonderful energy.
Yeah. Thoroughly Modern Millie.
Thoroughly Modern Millie with me.
Yeah, with you. With the Bobby.
With me.
So many. And yeah, lovely energy, captivating, wonderful, wonderful human being. So please enjoy the jaw-droppingly joyous Jenny Fitzpatrick.
It's fit to talk.
I wish I had hair like that.
Just buy it.
Talking about aging. Well, you joke, but now, oh my God, I think I can. Like, go to Turkey, come back.
Exactly.
I'm there.
I mean, it looks good. All my mates have done that. It looks wicked.
I know quite a lot of people now that
Yeah,
have done
loads
it.
of my lot have done that.
Everyone that's had it is like 100% recommend.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it
Okay.
always looks, I think it looks
Yeah,
great.
I
Like every
do.
time I've seen it on anyone, I'm like, this looks fantastic.
Yeah, I do.
Why not? Why
I
not
think
do
so.
it?
It's going to give you that confidence as
Yeah.
well. If it's something that you feel you would like, do it.
I wonder if they have like a moral responsibility. Like if I go, hey, I want to have this hair transplant done, but I want you to put my new like hairline here. I want it. I want it right down.
Them dots get lower and
Yeah,
lower.
yeah. Literally.
I want to go full fryer.
I don't
Like,
want to
just permanent fryer.
I don't want to tell
Fine.
the difference between eyebrow and hair. Right? Like
I like
that's
it.
where I'm at.
I like it as a
And
choice.
that would be. I don't know what I'd look like. I'd look like something from Hills Have Eyes. But
I think you'd look great. I think you should do it.
I
I wonder
think you
if
should
they
go
go.
for it.
I wonder if they go. Sorry, sir. We can't actually morally do that. Or if they'd be like, money.
I think they'd go
I think
dollar.
they're seeing that money. They're like, who's this mug who's walked in?
You want hair eyebrows? You can have hair eyebrows.
I want them to connect. I want it to connect
That's what
to
I
my
mean.
hairline.
That's what I mean. Like the hairline is now here, like the whole way.
I love it.
Highbrow.
Yeah.
A highbrow.
Oh.
Hey, come on.
Take that. You've got to lock that in.
We're fully there. Lock it. Right, I'm booking it. I'm booking it.
That's all this podcast is going to be, is
Right.
you booking.
Yeah, guys, wait. I found a clinic. Like,
We're off.
Just chatting through. Or we should say, at some point during the podcast,
Yeah.
would you be willing to try and tell us a lie?
Yes.
That was
Maybe
the
that was my lie.
If anybody's listening to this as their first ever episode, we should explain that we ask you to lie at some point
Yes.
during it, and at the end we will try and guess if we think you have lied, and if so, what it is. That was a very committed yes. That's like the one. That's like Nessa Rose in Wicked, isn't it? She's become iconic. for the-
Which bit?
in the film Wicked,
Yeah.
when there's that scene of Nessa Rose as a little kid,
Oh,
the
yes.
bear is speaking to her, she just
Yes.
goes, yeah. And it's so cute.
It's true, actually.
And, like,
I know exactly the bit you mean.
It's like so cute. So you've become that partner.
You are that
Yeah,
part.
Baby Nessa Rose, fine.
You are
Okay,
Baby
I'll take
Nessa
it.
Rose.
I'll take it.
The little Elphaba was a girl called Caris, who was one of my youngsters in Oliver when we did it. So I'm literally like, I feel like a proud mum when I see her on the screen.
Oh, I love that.
Amazing.
It's gosh, us chatting about age, you're so right. Like now, we're at a point where you have these people that were like 8 when they were in shows.
I mean,
with
she
you.
is still 8, to be fair.
She is. And you're like, okay, fine, I'm going a different direction with this. Yeah.
She's still
I'll
like,
pull that back. I'll pull
She's
that
still
back.
like-
It's true. It's true. And now they're like adults and
Yeah, and
flying
they're
your
like-
planes and things like that.
They're like, oh, I've come out,
Weird.
I've
had
come
that
out of
before.
drama school, and I'm like,
I had that before.
not to fly planes as often as Jenny.
No, that's right.
No, I
That's how she
literally
got here today.
I flew a plane. Yeah. I am Cameron McIntosh. No, one of my Oliver kids, I did it twice. So one of my Oliver kids from 15 years ago, like everyone got on really well. So everyone kind of knew each other, but you don't know what they look like now because it was about 10 years after he left. And I was walking on, I can't remember if it was like an EasyJet plane, and just heard Jenny. I was like, hi. And he's like, oh, it's one of your kids, one of your gang boys in Oliver. And I was like, huh? He's like, I'm flying the plane. Like, aren't you 8?
Or did you have a flashback of being like, you were very irresponsible as a child? Like, what?
I can't remember his name, but yeah.
Oh my
That's
God.
fantastic.
He was either like the pilot or the co-pilot. It
Yeah.
was something like that. And I was like, good
God.
to see you.
The moment it happened for me was I was at an audition
Yeah.
and somebody who had been a kid in a show who I had then taught as a student was then in for the same part as me.
Oh,
And
I
was
love
like,
it.
Brutal.
I love it.
I was like, I'm 12 years older than you. Like, how is this happening?
I love it. It's lovely though. I had it in Rock of Ages.
Did you?
Rock of Ages, one of the lads, Scott Hayward, he was telling a story and he was like, oh yeah, I was doing a show, and when I was talking about the story, I was like, hang on, this story's about me. I went,
This is
it's like-
familiar.
It's like, this happened to me in a show that I was in. And he was like, oh, it was Oliver at Drury Lane. I was like, yeah, that was me. Who are you? I was one of the kids. I was like, oh my gosh. And now he was like, obviously working alongside each other in a very non-raucous show, Rock of Ages.
Yes.
Slightly different vibe to Oliver. Slightly different
different
vibe.
Depends on the production. Seen some weird versions of Oliver in my time.
Yeah, Rock of Ages can only be done one way.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah, that is definitely.
That is stayed true to its roots.
There's
It
hot
really,
pants in there.
really has.
But when there's hot pants in Oliver, it's a bit strange.
Yeah, well, depends who's wearing them.
Mr. Bumble. That's not a person, is it? That's not, what's his
Hey,
name?
hey,
No, no,
yeah.
no. I just thought I'd suddenly like mentioned a kid's cartoon character. I was like, no.
Or one of the children characters, and you're like, well, this went to a weird place.
No, that's very different. Oh God! Now I'm picturing it when he's like asking for food, and Mr. Bumble's in like hot pants.
He's like boy for sale with hot pants on in
And
the
a
snow.
pole.
Sale. That is a stagey reference. I like
Oh
that.
God, it's so wrong as well. No, when you do
Just
this.
stood there.
How PG is this podcast?
Not.
Not even slightly.
You can swear.
We're good.
You
We're
can
good
say
to
whatever
go.
you like. It's fine.
We're good to go.
And if anyone's listening to this hoping it was PG, then there is an advisory on it that says
Yeah, sometimes there is. Sometimes there isn't.
on the whole podcast there is.
Oh yeah, there is a whole podcast.
Did we start at the beginning? When did we start recording?
We always record.
We always
Brilliant.
record. We
Good
just
to
go.
know.
We just go.
That's something I learned from an old podcast I used to listen to. They have this policy like ABR, always be recording, and then we'll just edit in from when it makes sense.
Brilliant, that makes sense. I like
I say
that.
we. Bobby will edit in from when it makes
And
sense.
it never makes sense. So it's just I just pick a point. I'm like, here we go. This sounds nice.
I think that's kind of nice though. It doesn't feel like a brutal.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome.
No, that's nice. It's
There is
more
an
natural.
intro. We
Yeah.
do introduce you and say all of your wonderful, fabulous
Yeah.
credits to people and stuff. We just don't make you sit through it.
No, that's a good idea.
We
used
did
to-
used to do that, and it was odd.
We used to, and everyone was like, "Yes, I'm fantastic."
Hi.
Make
Hello.
them say it themselves. So I was in. Da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, we haven't done any research. Who are you?
You just talk. Thanks.
Yeah, why are you here again?
This is essentially a job interview.
Let's do a formal start then. You're really intense. job
Really
interview.
intense, filmed.
Yeah, film job interview. And what qualities do you believe? No. So shifting on from that, what's the classic job interview one? Your biggest weakness?
Oh.
I was like, I'm a perfectionist.
And yeah, still compliment themselves.
Yeah, I'm too much
I'm
of a perfectionist.
I'm an alcoholic.
I worked too hard.
I did see one the other day that was like,
Be really honest.
Is that not what you wanted?
I'm an alcoholic and I have trouble turning up to work.
I cry myself to sleep every night. I'm not sure.
I saw the other day
I
that
outsource my work to another country.
I'm very efficient.
I'm very efficient.
But I saw one literally on Instagram like a couple of days ago with this, and the answer was like, "I'm too honest," and the response was like, "How is that a bad thing?" And they were like, "I think you're a prick." I was like,
That's excellent.
"Well played."
I
Yes,
mean, I'd
yeah.
be like, yeah,
That's solid.
you've got the job.
Yeah, well played. Yeah,
I
I don't want to
enjoy
work
that.
with you, but I do like the.
You are not right for this company. But well done.
I respect it.
Yeah.
Respect it.
I mean, you joked. I remember, like, when I used to like go for interviews and stuff outside of theatre. And you send a CV and all you've got is theatre stuff, so nothing practical that actually works for the office. And you sit there and have the best interview and they're like, oh my God, you did this show, you did this TV thing, you did this, you did this, you did that. And you're like, come out going, that was a brilliant interview. And they're like, yeah, you've not got the job. You've got nothing on your CV.
You've got no skills.
Just that you've got an interesting life.
You provide us with
Brilliant.
nothing.
But no, you can't be a secretary here. Great.
Fantastic. I really enjoyed that.
Cool.
But can I have tickets to go see the next show?
Yeah. I feel like this was more for you than me. But okay. Do I get paid for this? Actually, you mentioned it, like auditions there. Bobby, have you ever said anything really weird in an audition?
All the time.
I feel like there must be some stuff.
I've said some really weird things. It's like I've blocked them out. They're so weird that I'm like, I need to never remember them again.
I love that. I'm awful.
Have you done any like weird in like audition stuff?
Yeah, like I get nervous energy and think I'm funny and try and be funny.
Yeah.
And often the audition panel get very like awkward and but when I
They're like, okay.
brilliant. When I auditioned for Fake Lion King, I like to call it.
Fake Lion King.
What was that ghost?
Nice. Nice.
That was good.
Well done.
No, this was oh my God, they don't even do it anymore, I don't think. But in Euro Disney, they have Lion King. This was about 20 years ago. And they, you basically audition here, back then, you audition for the one in town and you audition for Paris.
Right.
And basically one time when I was doing another show, I had a picture up of Fake Lion King and I used to call it Lion King in Paris. And one of the guys was wardrobe on Lion King just before. He went, what's that picture of? And I was like, oh, it's Lion King in Paris. He was like, yeah, those costumes, that's not Lion King. From now on, you can't call it Lion King. You have to call it Fake Lion King. It's stuck. It's stuck.
And you're like, that's not allowed.
Okay, yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
I mean, it was choreographed by Craig Revel Horwood, so it wasn't quite. You can't claim it as Lion King.
I want to see it even more.
I'm fascinated
Oh my
by
God,
that.
it was brilliant. Like, don't get me wrong, so many amazing people have been in it.
Yeah,
Sandra Marvin, Leona Lewis got offered it. Tom Goodridge,
Oh wow.
Landy Yoshinoa, she did it. Like, so many people have done it. It's hilarious.
I need to Google this.
Fascinated. Yeah, I
It's
need to see footage.
Yeah, I'll show you that.
Which is joyous.
But on the auditions, they were like, can you speak French? And I thought I was funny and went, mange tu, Rodney, mange tu. and they just kind of looked at me. And then I think I did a few more Only Fools and Horses quotes. And then they went, right. And there was a really weird bit now, I want you to be the lion, embrace the essence of the lion. And I thought it was funny and went, go. And then again, luckily I had to sing after that and then got the job. So.
See, that's my version of that story is like the same thing, but I didn't get the job.
Yeah.
You're like, that's strange. I think it's been like 40 years since that Only Fools and Horses moment where he like fell through the bar.
That's the single best moment.
Oh my
40
God.
years, yeah, like 8-5.
It's genius.
It is amazing.
It's the best comedy moment, I
It's
think,
genius.
ever.
I think so too.
During auditions, I've definitely, to jump back to that, I've definitely like walked into the door or been unable to open the door on the way out.
Oh, yeah.
Or there was a step in one. They did it in the RSC studios, and there was a step on the way out. And they said on the way in, they were like, when you leave, just everybody's tripped over this step, so just be careful. Obviously, you then do an audition, entirely forget what's happened, and on the way out, I stacked it. Like it was literally like the floor was ice for a moment. It was like, and obviously it's an audition, so you're like, ha 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 ha, so I'm fine. Up when you walk out, you're like bleeding. I've cut my trousers. I'm like, good.
I once had one where I had my flies down for the entire audition.
No.
Like I walked in, flies down. I was feeling confident, was like feeling good. Knew somebody on the panel. Started my song, and midway through the song, I just looked over and they were like looking down, and I was like, "What?" They were like,
why are you
down,
looking at my
down. I was like, oh. Then mid-song, I'm like slowly.
It was a choice. It was a choice.
It was a choice. I did not get the job.
What, you neglected to mention that you were hanging out of the trousers.
Staged.
It
You
was.
chose it before.
Hello.
It was a fake.
Oh, we should start at the beginning. We've basically not done this. So, how does the story of your life begin?
Oh, okay. So I grew up in Hornchurch in Essex with my mum, dad, and my brother. And my family were obsessed with musicals. Like, my parents were, like, obsessed. So they used to take us to go and see shows, like, every birthday, every Christmas. So I think they kind of, like, brainwashed us to love it as well.
Matchsticks open on the eyes. Like, West Side Story on repeat.
You're gonna love this.
And
Just playing it in your sleep.
It's true. It's the only way I
Just
can
hearing
sleep.
clicks.
Phantom of the Opera on repeat.
Yeah. And when you've been bad, you have to watch when you don't laugh.
Yeah, exactly. What would
Brutal.
that be? Yeah, it's true.
Like,
Annie.
yeah, same.
There it
I
is.
don't love Annie.
I don't love Annie. I don't. I do love the songs when sung.
When sung
by
well.
adults.
Well, yeah, yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Like, yeah, Marisha Wallace, Tomorrow. Yeah, brilliant.
Fine.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I'm on
Just-
board.
Yeah, just don't want to watch the
Also,
film.
that in that story, Annie is a dick. Like, let's not mess around. If people have never taken a closer look at Annie, when you watch it without any history, you watch it, you're like, this kid is so ungrateful. Like,
Yeah.
like it's mental.
I now want to rewatch it with this attitude
I
in mind.
do too.
She's a dick.
I really hope, I really kind of feel like Annie is a trigger for you as well. I'm really enjoying it.
Stop bringing it up, Jenny.
I love it.
Yeah, no, it's really savage. If you watch it again and you go, oh, maybe Annie, because she's presented as the
Yeah.
hero, you like justify all of her things. But she's like this like super nice, lovely, wealthy person has adopted her and made her life wonderful, and she's like, fuck you. You want to know what's in my locket? Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
Wow.
And I'm like,
Wow.
I love it.
You've got some real feelings about this.
Mine was more, I just never really seen it. No,
ambivalent. Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
Fine.
It is what it is.
It's weird though, isn't it? Because I love musicals, but there's a few that just never sat well with me. And I genuinely think it's because my parents didn't like them. So,
Yeah.
you know, so it's interesting. I do feel like they did develop my taste, and I think more for all of us. But yeah, stage shows were our thing, and we loved it. And my brother was very musical. So my brother always played instruments, and I was obsessed with my brother. So I wanted to do everything that he did. So it was like, he did piano, I want to do piano. He did violin, I want to do violin. He did guitar, I want to do guitar. So it was literally like that. And I could always sing. So it was one of those things that I enjoyed doing it. But I didn't do it when I was a kid. I was a karate girl. So I used to.
Yes.
You must know that.
I must know that.
And to be fair, I don't really talk about it that much, but I did karate from the age of 4, still to date now. And it's like, I've done karate longer than I've sung, longer than I've done anything. Like, used to fight for the country, things like that. Did it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I stopped martial arts when I was like 16 or 17 or something.
Yeah.
But I was like super into it during that time as well. And like so anytime somebody does it, I'm like, you understand? It's like an entirely different version of the world
Yeah.
in this lovely place.
Yeah.
And what do you think you've gained by doing that?
Oh my gosh, so much. Like, even the fact that it gave us so much, like, order. It's very militant, isn't it? So, I just was always very determined, always very committed. Flexibility, things like that for the dancing. It really helped with my dancing. And nowadays, because the one that I did was like weapons training, jiu-jitsu and everything like that. So it's brilliant for now. All the skills that I've learned then are very transferable. So it's like, in that sense, it's worked perfectly for like jobs in film and TV and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
In
stage
my
combat.
In my head now, you you said it works perfectly for now. And in my head now, you're a vigilante. Like, just musicals at night, and afterwards, you go out busting crime.
No, I do. Yeah, that's true.
It's just there with like a dagger. Like, yeah.
Spinning my size.
I couldn't think of the things that are like mini forks.
The size.
Size.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Coming back.
Oh yeah,
Classic.
was obviously obsessed with that as well.
So, at what point did you go? This is the thing I actually want to do.
Well, probably not until I was about. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. I always wanted to do it. My parents didn't let me do it, so I wasn't really. I did it like on Saturday schools and things like that. But I was karate 5 times a week, and then I'd go dancing and singing and stuff like that on a Saturday. And then when I was 16, I was like desperate to go to Sylvia's and Talia Conti, and Mum and Dad were like, no. And then they were like, no, just get a BTEC, whatever it is that you want to do, but just have something else. And if you still want to go at 18, then we'll help you. So yeah, so it wasn't until I was 18, but
Mate, so you did, what was it, Barking and Dagenham College? And
Yeah.
And then
yeah, and then I went to
Mountview
Mountview.
appeared.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and you were like, was Mountview like the place you dreamed it to be at the time, or what was that experience like?
No, it was. So my friend Tom Aldridge, who's Harry Potter, he was like a year above me, and we grew up together. And then he did the same route, and he'd gone to Mountview, and I was like, I want to go to Mountview. but we auditioned for everything, and then so I got into like Mountview, Guildford and Arts, I think it was. And the dance teachers I had growing up were the Arts Ed dance teachers. So I was like, well, let's do Mountview.
Because it's different. Yeah.
Tom was loving it. I could see how much he was loving it. And so I was like, I want to go to Mountview. And I absolutely loved it.
I loved Tom. I did one job with him
did you?
Nearly 10 years ago. And he's brilliant.
He's incredible. Yeah. He's always been incredible.
It was so effortlessly easy for him as well. He could be like chatting on the side and then walk on and just deliver this like insanely emotional thing, and everyone's like weeping, and then be like, right, who's up for the pub? And I'm like, I hate you. How dare you?
No, he's brilliant. And he doesn't sing as much now, but his voice is incredible. Absolutely. He's just, he's brilliant and like a great mate, and we've stayed really good mates. So it's...
That's a lie. They hate each other.
I hate Tom.
There's a feud.
Onward feud. So how did you manage Did you manage to maintain doing martial arts through Mountview? Yeah,
I did. And to be fair, I wanted to be a stunt woman for so long. So I used to train. You need your 4 things. So I used to try and train. I wanted my voice. My voice was always the thing that I knew would get me work initially. That was the thing that made people go, oh my God. But I couldn't get out of my head that I wanted to be a stunt woman. So I kind of used to do the training, weekends, not so much. And I used to train my brother all the time as well. So keep the weapons training going, things like that. So it just kind of worked. And I do feel like you're different when you're 18, when you're at drama school, you feel like you can do everything. And you literally work 14 hours a day and you're like, and what? Yeah. It doesn't seem to bother you.
Yeah.
So and that's kind of what it was. We used to, the first year I stayed at home and commuted, which is Essex. Stayed at home and commuted, so I had time to kind of do it then. And then when I moved up to Mountview for the 2nd and 3rd year, I just focused on college. And then when I finished, I went back to it.
I mean, joyous.
Yeah.
And also insanely hard work, right?
Yeah. No, really. It really is. But for me, the karate was the release.
Yeah.
So that was where you switched off and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm very accident prone as well, so it's an interesting combination. That's why I didn't become a stunt woman.
This is so
really wise.
I hurt myself horse riding. I did. I fell off a horse, which I know can be quite dangerous. Luckily, mine wasn't, and dislocated my shoulder.
Oh,
literally. So I just was like, my mum spoke to me, and she was like, "I'm not sure the two go that well together. You want to do musicals? You also want to be a stunt woman. Choose one."
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Mum.
Well played, Mum. That's probably good advice. Also, doesn't it take like... We had a guest who has actually just qualified.
Yeah, literally just qualified, yeah.
But obviously, it was like, how many years? Like 5, 6 years or something?
Yeah,
a long time.
It is.
It's hefty training.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And she'd chosen kickboxing to do, and then was like, oh, this is way, way harder than I had anticipated. And I'm sorry, slightly telling her story there now. We should get her back on and
find out now how it is.
See how it is now, because we interviewed her like maybe 2 years ago, and she was in the middle of that process, but she's finished it now.
So she started kickboxing later?
Yeah, she basically started kickboxing for this purpose, and then obviously you have to have a professional bout. And I think
you need. I think it's 3 or 4 different things that you need for it.
And she had her first bout, and it went very badly.
Oh no!
And she was like, oh man, okay, this was way tougher than I had anticipated.
It's hard starting at such a late age. So I've done so many different styles of martial arts. Like that's, and so even just being young and training your bones to be tough and stuff like that. We did that from a young age.
Yeah.
So even when we went to sort of the more relaxed, so we started in Kung Fu basically. When we went to the more relaxed karate styles, people used to hate sparring, like with me and my brother, because we had even blocking someone, people would be like, that hurts.
You're like, yes.
So but starting at an older age, I reckon that would be tough.
This is a big ask.
Yeah. I do find that, like, I did judo when I was like quite a lot, and I found obviously there's no strikes in judo anyway. Yeah. It's all technically defense, but like the reality, there's sort of 2 versions of all of these martial arts, right? Which is like the one for the sake of the martial art, which is like, oh, here are the sequences, and then there's the one that is actually practically useful for you in your life.
Yeah.
And if you think somebody's going to hit you lightly, and that you like the blocking's not going to hurt you a little bit, then you might just be doing it for the other version, for the love of the art, which is fine.
Exactly.
But it does sort of depend, like, why you're doing it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think jiu-jitsu is brilliant for like every day, and I think like everyone should learn it. I think it should be something that's taught everywhere. Just
Yeah.
some kind of self-defense thing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, jiu-jitsu, you can incapacitate someone in like 3 seconds.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's so too.
I had my neighbour was a black belt in
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu when I was growing up, and he knew the judo, and he came around and I was asking him, I was like, oh, show me something, because I didn't know anything
Yeah.
about it. And he was like, sure, just like try and grab me.
It's true.
Massive error.
Yeah, it's
Massive.
true.
I think I grabbed his arm, and within a second, I don't know what the time was, but it was instant. I was on the floor, and he literally just grabbed my wrist,
Yeah.
and I was in a wrist lock, and I was like, instant, like sound was coming out of my mouth in pain. I was like, what the hell just happened here? Wizard. Oh no! So I'm really hammering that home so nobody messes with you. So there you go.
It's
They
true.
know.
True.
Right, just so they understand.
My vigilante
Like,
moments, yeah.
do not fuck with Jenny. When you get a job, that should be on the first email that goes out. Like, you get cast name, by the way. Do not fuck
Do
with
not
Jenny.
fuck with
Why is
Jenny.
everyone scared of me when I walk into a job? It was like,
It might be the size that you're twiddling.
nunchucks as I walk into a room.
Oh, you've got a note for me?
Sure about that?
Fine. Yeah, you go ahead. so back to career progression.
I love it. I love it. Just
One of
like
your
karate.
first gigs was like Little Shop, right?
Yeah, that was my first West End. Yeah, so it was brilliant because it was one of those jobs that it was most people's first West End.
Ah, so everyone was
Nice.
equally excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really was, and even things like with the music department as well. It was like Alan Berry. It was his sort of first big gig. Toby Higgins, myself, Katie Kerr. Trying to think of people now that was their first, but it was a really beautiful experience. It was like we started at the Chocolate Factory, which is you've got to get to know people there, and it was tiny. I think there was I can't remember. I think it was 12 in the cast. I think it was 4 in the band, and then maybe 6 stage management, including sort of sound and stuff like that. So it was a small company,
Yeah.
and so we all just clicked and got on so well, and it was one of those shows. No social media. Kind of a good thing, I think, at that point. But it just, the hype of it just made it like rocket. It was brilliant. So we got the transfer to the West End.
Yeah.
And then it just did really well. It was Sheridan Smith and Paul Keating. And it was amazing. It was it was such a great first West End. Yeah, good vibes and just a real sort of company feel, which doesn't always happen, you know.
I feel like I don't know what you're saying.
Triggered.
I feel like I'm weeping again. Like, I think that's something that you learn. I wonder if this is your experience, because if you had that experience on your first one where you did have this thing, I did too on my first gig, and it made me, I didn't have the perspective to go, not all jobs are like that. No. Until I then had my first one that wasn't like that, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was like,
it's hard, isn't it?
oh, this sucks. Like, did you don't have to tell us the show, but like, did you have an experience like that made you go, oh, this is...
Twice.
Yeah.
But in 20 years, I think that's pretty good.
That is really good going on.
That's a good hit ratio.
Yeah. And as well, that's not even like a whole thing. I think there was an element in both jobs that made it really difficult.
Was it when you worked with Bobby?
It was when I worked with Bobby.
I am notoriously a nightmare.
You make every job difficult.
That's what you're known for.
Yeah,
for
right.
everyone.
Being really hard work.
That's
Not
me.
fun,
That's
not
this guy.
positive.
We don't need that around.
No, get him out.
So I might have skipped some stuff, right? So you, from Mountview through to Little Shop, there's some stuff that happened in between.
So I was quite lucky. My first job was Shakespeare. I went into Regent's Park, like sort of
Midsummer Night's Dream.
Midsummer Night's Dream, Henry IV, Part 1. Oof. I know, and Camelot. So it was in Rep. So I was just quite
amazing.
Nice.
I was really lucky. Really lucky.
Henry IV is drunk.
All right, okay. So bear in mind you just said that. I had a tiny part in it as well. It was, I reckon, 3 hours. Can't remember. I might exaggerate this. 3.5 hours. Can't remember. One day, there was 12 people in the audience. And they came to us. This was in like 2004. They came to us and they went to the whole cast, right, because there's more of you, I don't know if this is still a thing, because there's more of you in the company than there is in the audience, you don't have to do the show. And I remember one person was brilliant. One person went, there's one person out there, I think we should do the show. It was also raining outdoors. And I remember being stood there making some potion thing at one scene, just being like, this is so depressing.
It's worse than a rehearsal. It's worse.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. And they didn't even sit them, I don't know what's better. They sat them all apart. So it literally was like...
Oh, yeah. What is
was
better?
I don't know.
To like stick them all in one row,
Oh, God.
or like line them up behind each other? Like,
Yeah. Single
Well,
file kiss.
literally just 12 people.
You're all in the middle. I did have a show of one, it can remain nameless, where it was really struggling to sell. And we were in a massive theatre around, it wasn't in Edinburgh, but it was like the next one down. And there was something like 200 people. And they put them all in one group in the stalls. And 200 people sounds like quite a lot, but it really isn't. It was like 3.5 rows, it looked like, of the audience. And we were like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
This is weird.
It's crazy, isn't it?
But it is super long. And also, Henry IV, my recollection of it is that nothing really happens.
Those are my
Do you know
favourite
what?
stories.
Yeah.
When nothing happens.
I mean, I'd love to be more knowledgeable on this, but I can't remember too much about it, which might say something, really. But but no, I remember, so bear in mind, it's my first job, and all of the actors in it were incredible, like out of this world, outstanding. So I remember learning a lot from it, and I had cover parts and things like that. So I remember enjoying the text.
Yeah.
Annette McLaughlin was in it. She had a beautiful part in it and stuff like that. And just, it was brilliant in that sense, certain performances, but the story as a whole, I think it was quite long. But it still was, let me be positive, it was a good learning experience.
Yeah, it was a good learning experience.
But for me, what was good is that obviously coming straight out of college, I think I finished my last show at college on the Saturday, and then I started on the Monday.
That's incredible.
You know, so it's like I was 20 years old.
And it's rep.
It was rep.
So you're going to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a great experience to learn straight out of college.
And also, you
Really
don't mind
was.
doing one of the political ones if you've got Midsummer Night's Dream
Exactly.
alongside
Exactly.
it.
Yeah. And
As long
it was,
as it's a good production.
Oh, the Midsummer Night's Dream was brilliant.
Man.
They all were. All the productions were good, and it was all stuff that I wouldn't have chosen to do straight away, which was incredible. And it just opened my eyes. And because I was so young, I think all of the older actors literally just sort of took me under their wing and looked after us. And I definitely learned on the job.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things of going. So I was a little bit ditzy. I didn't realise quite how big a deal it was. I just was a bit like, I'm Jenny, I can belt a G. I was a little bit like that. I was a bit annoying.
You're like, where's the song in this?
When do I belt?
I'm making this potion. Is there like a song that goes
The potion song? The potion song.
I can make it up.
Yeah. You go into the rehearsal, you're like, so I've written one. And it's on piano, violin and guitar. Really committed.
It's so true. It was a little bit. And I remember who was it? So Lauren Ward was in it, and Lauren had to have some time off for whatever reason. And so I did my cover part. And I remember everyone being like, oh my God, have you invited people to come see it? Your parents come and your brother come in? I was like, nah, it's fine.
Yeah.
They're like, you're not inviting anyone. I was like, no, it's all right.
Yeah.
And I just did this week on as this amazing part and just didn't invite anyone. Didn't invite anyone.
There's
Didn't think
something
about
to that. I feel like
Yeah.
I just didn't
sometimes-
realise it was a big deal at that time. And it was only when my mum was like, I don't think I even told them. I think I'd really wanted to come and see that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
would've been nice.
People want to watch me.
What's wrong with my normal potion?
Have you not heard the song?
I play all three instruments at the same time.
They're attached to you. Like, doing full
The bows
karate
on
on
like
it.
my head. We can make this work.
So realistically, after that point,
Yeah.
we've got so many,
Yeah.
so many incredible shows that we could focus on talking about those. One of Bobby's favourites of all time is Outhouse.
My favourite is literally. Have you ever done Our House?
Yeah, I did the tour after yours.
Ah, I think I do know that. I was going to say you'd be incredible in it.
I loved that show. That's the
It's
one show that I
favourite.
would go back and do in a heartbeat.
100%. I think it's definitely one of my favourite shows I've ever done. Still close mates with everybody in it as well.
Wow.
And it's just, I luckily did the concert as well. So it's, and I so I owe Matthew Walters my career, to be fair anyway. He's been very lovely. He's hired me a lot. So thank you, Matthew.
Thank you, Matthew.
But it's, there was something special about that first cast. So we did, not the West End one, we did the first tour from the West End. So it was the same production. And it just was, there was something very special about the production, about, you know, the writer was there for pretty much the whole time, and Matthew did the whole thing, and it was incredible, and it was a great cast of people as well. And I used to call it the jumpy show. I used to jump a lot in it.
It's exhausting. It's an exhausting show.
I lost so much weight. So much weight.
It's brutal.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And back-to-back shows of that, my gosh.
Well, actually, like that in mind, and then, you know, let's not mess around. Tina Turner.
Tina.
Like,
yeah, that was quite easy, Tina.
feels like an easy one.
Pretty casual.
But like,
that's a casual show, don't worry.
looking at all of these things, like, and roles that you've done, you know, from Dolores to everything, like, there's a lot of incredibly big, meaty roles that require a lot from you.
Yeah.
Both physically, mentally, vocally, all of that stuff. How on earth do you manage that?
Yeah, do you know what? I think it's that thing. Tina was definitely the hardest. It was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, more so mentally. And I think as well, because I was alternate on that. So now it's just, you have two Tinas, you know, and they've got a brilliant schedule now. I think they do 5 shows one week, 3 shows the next week, which is incredible. But at the time, obviously, we were the first contract, so we were just trying to work it out. And even during the year, you know, it started off as 2 shows a week, then it was 3 shows a week, then it was 4 shows a week. And, you know, so it was, and actually the 2 shows a week was actually harder. And I think a lot of alternates say that, don't they? Like, I think I did the Monday night and the Thursday matinee. And I remember every time I did the Monday night, it was like literally like dragging yourself up a hill. It just didn't have that stamina. Yeah. You didn't have time to build that stamina. So when it went up, it was like brilliant. Then it sort of became easier. But it was hard. There was a lot of anxiety, and I genuinely think I was anxious sort of 21 hours of the day. And then the 3 hours on stage, I was like, brilliant. This is the best experience of my life.
Yeah.
And then you go back to being anxious again the moment you finish a show. Is my voice there? Can I do it tomorrow? What if I'm doing it tomorrow? Am I on tomorrow? All this business. And it was an interesting time. I think it's the best and worst year of my life, I reckon, in that sense, career-wise, just because it was so difficult for a lot of the company in that first year. And because of that, it made us all very close. We all stuck together. We all had each other's backs. And that's a beautiful thing, I think, when a company does that. But I had to isolate myself. For me personally, I had to isolate myself to do that role. Yeah. And I just, you know, I know we joked about it earlier, but like even like I love a drink and things like that. And I knew that didn't trust that I'd be able to have a drink and do the parts. So I just stopped drinking for 18 months really. Once you'd done like rehearsals and stuff like that, it worked out just under 18 months. And so I was the best shape I think I'd been in my life at that point. And you've got to be. There's so much stage combat in it. There's so much emotion in it. And like, I'm quite a raw performer in that sense that I do kind of just take it to the limit with everything and screaming and stuff like that. And so it just was, it was mentally a lot and physically a lot.
I hope you don't mind me asking this then. Like, how did that actually, because I don't think people actually talk about this that much, and it's not that accessible. How did that actually affect your personal life around that? Yeah,
so I didn't have one. I remember I got offered a big role recently, and a friend of mine, Holly, or about a year ago, a friend of mine, Holly Taylor, basically was like, I don't want you to do this part. I was like, what do you mean? She was like, when you did Tina, we lost you. Like, we completely lost you for a whole year. And she's like, and I'm worried that if you were to do this part, that would happen again. Because I think you've got to, I think some people work better with things like that, and I don't trust it. I don't trust myself enough. You know, like we've worked together and stuff like that. So I don't trust myself enough to basically go, I kind of have to go, no, I have to give it 150% just in case, because I don't want to fail, and I've got an absolute fear of failure. So personal life, I didn't have one. Yeah. I'd broken up with my long-term boyfriend sort of just as we went into it as well. So I was very much on my own at that point as well, living on my own. I was living with Ian McIntosh, and I moved out to live on my own so that I didn't have to talk to somebody every day and things like that. So really silly choices that I wouldn't have made again, actually. Yeah. So, and I don't think that did well for my mental health either. Yeah. So literally was just, I would go and see family, and, you know, because they understood what I was being like if I had to be silent and things like that. But I didn't go out. Like, I didn't see friends. I didn't do anything. But it just meant that I felt proud of what I did on stage. But it's a lot to sacrifice for a job. And I don't think I wouldn't want to do a role of that size again, if I'm honest, with that bigger thing. It's slightly different now. So I think with how it is with the keys and stuff like that and the schedule, I think it would be better to do now. Mm. And the girls that are doing it now are having such an amazing time. But also what works well now is that, you know, they work very well as a team. So the two girls that are doing it, like Caris and Zoe that are doing it at the moment, are brilliant. They get on very, very well and they're very respectful to each other and stuff like that. So having that support is amazing.
Yeah.
So I think you need that.
Yeah.
It's so refreshing to hear somebody say that out loud, like going, oh, I don't know if I would want to do that kind of thing again. Not because the role isn't amazing and the show isn't amazing. Like, of course it is. That's why you did it. Yeah. And we know that it is. But because it is so demanding and so taxing that you sort of cease to exist. I feel like until that's happened to you, quite a lot of people will have been around performers, perhaps in a show with them, who've had to do that. They're like, oh, yeah, cool. I would do that if I was in that position. And then when you're actually in that position, you go, I don't think people understand how all-consuming it is. And I love that phrasing of going, like, you disappeared for a year. Yeah. Because that is it. Like, your life ceases to happen outside of this thing to a certain extent. Yeah. You're like a little shadow of you that's at the odd family event, probably not speaking.
True. Interestingly, though, if I knew that, that's how it was going to be back then, I still would have done it.
100%.
Because what it did for me career-wise was perfect. But I think, you know, and I got it whilst we were doing Thoroughly. I got it whilst we were doing Minute.
Yeah.
So it was, and I remember just being like, and I'd done lots of jobs, but I'd never, for my type of voice as well and things like that, there were very few roles that I think I could have been the lead in and stuff like that. And then when this came about, I was like, oh no, this is it. No, this is me. And so I think I would have still done it knowing, because it was still the best year of my life as well, bizarrely, even with all of that happened. And it did do something, like, even now. And when was that? 2018 I started that. And people still talk to me about it now. I still have to go and sing things. Have to go. Like, it's like people are forcing me.
Nobody's forcing you when you're twiddling those sides.
Exactly.
I came in like this. Actually, I walk around like Tina.
Shoulders off.
Like rolling.
Shoulders and
just down and up. That's how you entered today. Actually.
Yeah.
I sure we didn't catch that.
That's how I travel.
That's how I travel.
On the tube.
On the tube with my Tina legs.
We're in that position, guys. So you said actually during that time, because obviously Tina is so physically demanding. You said you happened to say I was in the best shape of my life. Why? I guess.
I think because I was eating really healthily. I'd stopped drinking. I think I don't think I'd not drunk for that length of time for years. Probably never, if I'm honest. And you know, and I did used to drink quite a bit. But the annoying thing was, when I used to have a drink, it didn't affect my voice years ago. And then I forgot.
I wish that happened to me.
Yeah, not anymore. I can't do it anymore. Yeah. I discovered that on Thoroughly.
Millie, what a time.
Dear. But no, I was eating. I remember I had a meeting with some director basically after the show one day, and she just was like in awe and just like, what do you eat? What do you eat in the daytime? And she was so upset with what I ate in the daytime. I felt fine about it, just in the sense that it was a lot of just brown rice and chicken and veg, just because I knew that plain wouldn't upset my stomach in any way. Yeah. So I wouldn't have that type of anxiety of have I eaten too much as well, things like that.
Is something going to feel funny?
You don't want to eat too close to the show because it is that physical. And
once you're on the train, you're like...
Yeah, exactly. And it literally was a case of you, as Tina, you only leave the stage to get changed. And when you're getting changed, it's a quick change. You know, it's 10 seconds off, 10 seconds back on. You know, I think that is still the case with it now. Yeah. And so it just was, and as well, you know, you got your kit off on it as well. So at one point, and I just was like, well, I want to look good as well. And I want to feel good. And me thinking I needed to think about my weight. You didn't have to think about your weight. You were going to drop the weight anyway in that show. It was like
Through stress alone.
just reading Megamix alone at the end. It's like
Megamixes.
We love them.
Big fan of Megamixes.
love the Megamix. I actually did love the Tina Megamix. That was the best part.
Do you know what? As far as okay, shows are there to tell a story. I understand that a Megamix does not tell a story, but I do love a Megamix.
And the audience love a Megamix.
Yeah, and this is why, as
fair.
an audience member, I love a Megamix if it's good.
Yeah,
like,
if it's good.
Like the end of Mamma Mia, I'm like, yes, give me a recap of all the things I've just enjoyed. End of Tina, like even the Joseph one, I'm literally like,
the Joseph one's a banger.
It's a banger.
It's a banger. if you leave and you're pumped, you're like, yeah, great, this is the best musical ever. Red, yellow, green.
The rock version.
Like, yes, go.
That's the Rock of Ages, isn't it?
Yeah, the hybrid I've been looking for years.
In hot pants with Oliver Asking.
There are hot pants in Joseph, are there not? Isn't Joseph in hot pants? I just made that up in my brain.
He's not in like denim shorts. He's not in like Daisy Dukes. Like
I was in hot pants when I was the Pharaoh.
Why am I
Pharaoh's got hot pants.
Why am I imagining gold hot pants?
That's the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh's got gold hot pants.
The Pharaoh's in gold hot pants.
With like this golden loincloth thing.
In our production, the girls didn't. We actually didn't wear very much in Egypt.
No.
I don't know what we were wearing, but it wasn't much.
Chains, lots of chains. Just chains.
It was chains that you'd try and sort of strategically place over a nipple, but they wouldn't stay there. You'd be like, oh, God.
Really trying to hook it on.
I was lucky at that because you were in front of me. Like, it was about 4 meters in front, but he was in front of me. I was like, ha, no one's looking at me.
I was literally like about a foot away from the audience, staring at them.
Anytime someone was in, because I was far enough back, you know, you can sort of cheat, and we were just basically set dressing at the time. You could sort of kind of just check on the odd audience's face. I know we're not meant to blah, 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 blah. But I did. And they're all, because he's right at the front, everyone's like, especially if we had people that were in that knew you, they'd be like,
like when Justin came to watch you, he was like, it
was like 2 meters away from you.
Staring at me the entire time.
Don't catch their eye, don't catch their eye.
I'm so exposed.
Literally. Your fly was down.
Yeah. That was the time. In my gold hot pants.
That's how you got the job. That audition, wasn't it?
I knew it. I knew I remembered you.
Yeah.
But you said something that was really interesting to me there. You said, you know, I wanted to look good. But it's also, I think, was it a little bit about the confidence of that as well? Like when you go, oh, I have to be like basically unclothed on stage. And even her dresses are like, hey, here's most of my body.
Yeah.
Like you have to feel so comfortable and sexy and strong and capable and talented.
Yeah.
Like anything you could do to get to that point surely was positive.
Yeah, definitely.
If it's healthy.
Yeah, no, definitely. And as well, and I think just in being alternate as well, that stamina of it. So when I wasn't doing the show, I was at the gym like constantly, and I used to run on the treadmill and sort of not sing out loud, but mouth out the songs just to try and get the breathing.
Giving it Beyonce.
Giving it Beyonce on the treadmill.
In heels.
In heels, in my costume, hair tie, full face makeup, hot pants.
Doing the walk.
Lululemon, but it is hot pants, yeah.
Just a pure gym in Romford. They loved me.
Oh, that woman that sings Tina Turner's here again.
She's back.
There's just CCTV of you going around.
You're really prepping, so you've got the wig on, you're giving it like...
Shoulders.
I weirdly think that would be so incredible to see at the gym. I'd find that so inspiring.
I would love it.
Especially if you were singing as well. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, hell yeah.
I mean, I wasn't subtle. I mean, I joke that I was doing that, but I obviously wasn't subtle enough because all of the gym did come, like all of the people that worked at the gym did actually end up coming to see it. So, I must have been quite
That's
obvious.
because you were wearing your Tina Turner hoodie.
Oh, it had the wig.
And a sign saying, I'm in Tina Turner.
I am Tina.
Just handing out tickets.
Just no shame.
Morning. Here it is. Is it? Discount code. That's right.
I'm like, I don't know why people still talk about it. I am Tina.
It was on your request for the episode to
that was
to bring it up, right?
So only refer to you as Tina.
Jenny Fitzpatrick, Tina.
It's Tina.
Only blue M&Ms and
Tina references.
So you said, obviously, the gym, right? We've got this whole karate background and stuff. But, like, how did you learn what to do in the gym to support what you were doing?
I can't even remember now. I can't remember if I had advice. Did you help me? I can't remember if I would have had...
You did the bakery, right?
That was post.
Yeah,
that would have been post.
That was after.
After Tina.
That was after. And actually, there's an interesting story about that, actually, because basically, so I can't remember who gave me advice, but I think maybe I just always knew roughly what to do. But I know my singing teacher was the one that said about the treadmill.
Yeah.
Just to get your breathing in control and stuff like that. And I think in general, all my gym stuff would have been me guessing at the time. And it's like, it's only been the last sort of 5 years that I've properly known how to train my body and stuff like that. But it's, I definitely put my body through way too much stress, like over the years. And it was only when lockdown happened that my body crashed. So it was like, but I think a lot of that was to do with Tina, too much stress and like chronic stress on that show, which was very unnecessary. And I think producers should be a bit more careful with looking after their companies' mental health.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should be more responsible for that. And I think some companies, not necessarily just talking about Tina, but in general, some companies do treat their companies like they are just a product.
Yeah.
And I think if every performer was honest and didn't have that fear factor of saying, or fear factor of, oh my God, if I say this out loud, I'm never going to be hired again.
Yeah.
I think that there would be a lot more complaints, and they'd be a lot more aware about, how much damage they do to people.
We've said this a few times. Like, it's insane that the company manager is the person you're meant to go to when that's the person who makes decisions about your career. Like, there should be an HR person.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
And there are on, and it's like when you shows like the Old Vic or the National and places
big enough
like
companies.
that, they, in my experience, you're very looked after.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's, I know we have equity, and and equity. I do think equity are very useful. A lot of the time, they definitely have been for me. But I agree. I think when you've got big shows and any shows, I think not having that HR department and potentially sometimes the company manager being in just as difficult a position as the performers and stuff. Sometimes they are also being, I shouldn't really say bullied, but bullied or something.
Definitely
not.
But they're getting it from all sides.
They're getting it from everywhere. And
it depends on the company manager.
Their job is to please both sets of people, like the company and the company they work for.
Yeah.
And they're the middle person, and they can never please all of them, but they have to pretend to be on everyone's side.
Yeah.
Like when you look at it going, if I was in that job, you're like, I can't win.
Yeah.
They're placed in impossible positions
they
all
are.
of the time.
Yeah. And that's a sign of a good company manager, which I'm blessed to have had many of, that are very vocal and very much in favour and very objective. And, you know that they're looking after everyone to the best of their ability. And when they can't, you understand why they can't.
You go, there is actually it's not that you haven't tried or can't be bothered, or like, you're like, that is just a line in the sand that can't be done. Like, okay, cool. When you trust them because they're on your side, I think that's so different in a positive way. When you get a good company manager, you're like, you're gold.
Yeah, you're like, please, can I just always work alongside you? It's like the best. It's the best feeling. It's mad.
Yeah, and I've definitely had that 90% of the time.
Have you?
90% of the time, I think I've had good people. I've definitely had 10% where it hasn't been, and it's made those jobs very difficult.
It does. It means that the cast end up having to try and do some of it themselves, and it's not the one.
Yeah.
So then from there, we mentioned the bakery, obviously, and then during that lockdown. So you mentioned that's. I think this is quite common, right? That for a lot of performers, this happened during the enforced stop that happened in COVID. That we'd actually all been kind of living in this weird kind of slight stress response where your body's adrenaline kind of keeps you going and keeps you fighting through actually like suboptimal health and various things. So what happened for you in that point? What was the catalyst?
So basically, it's that thing, isn't it? That I think that when we've got an injury, we do push through to the limit. And I remember towards the end of Tina, and I had chronic stress for about a year. Not just due to Tina, with like life things as well. But and I remember sort of towards the end, I was like, my ankle like swelled up. And I remember one show literally. Because I was so much like, I can't not do the show. There's no way I can't do the show because I'll get too much grief and there was too much pressure and stuff like that. And so I remember like wedging my heels on, my stilettos on, my dresser just being like, Jen, your ankle is like, what? How are we going to change your shoes? And I was like, we just won't change my shoes. I was like, just don't.
Like, can you stop body shaming me, please?
Stop with that.
Don't mention my ankle.
What's wrong with my fat ankle?
I've put on some localised fat there, okay?
Literally, just on my left ankle. But she was brilliant, and actually, to say very quickly, having somebody that works that closely with you can get you through a contract.
Yeah.
And Amy Gallimore, who I had, was the reason I survived that second half of that contract. Wow. And I basically, you know, in teen, you meant to change shoes about 3 or 4 times. And I just was like, if I take my shoe off, I know I'm not going to get it back on. But my mentality, like now, I'd just be like, I can't do the show. I obviously can't do the show. So I did the show and I got through the show and it was fine. And then when I took it off afterwards and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't, this is ridiculous. But you're on a rake as well for Tina, which is ridiculous. But, and everybody, it's ridiculous.
Throw another thing in there.
Just throwing that, but Tina and the Ike, it's like, it's mental.
Yeah.
But everybody had this similar injury in their ankle. So I thought, okay, well, it's just that. So, you know, went and saw Fabi, who was looking after us on that show. And he was a bit like, he was like, yeah, I'm going to, you know, I'll fix it and I'll help it, but I don't want to do too much to it. I don't manipulate it too much. So I was like, okay, fine. He was like, I think you just need to get to the end of the contract and rest. So it's like, okay. So anyway, that was that. Long story short, just one day it just went away. And I was like, I didn't do anything for it to just go away. But I kind of went, okay, on to the next job. I'm fixed. There we are. She's all right. And then just obviously carried on working over that next year. And then we went into lockdown. And then I actually quite enjoyed the first half of lockdown because I was like, no pressure. Don't have to worry about my voice, don't have to worry about my body and things like that. But I started doing Bobby's Bakery. And I started at the beginning when I was literally only like a few of us to start with, wasn't it?
Like a couple of people.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Really chill at the beginning.
It was brilliant. And then I was loving doing that. And then I just remember one day trying to do something, and I can't remember, and just my wrist just completely going. I remember messaging you being like, oh, I'm gutted. I can't do them. Like my wrist is just, it's really playing up. I don't know what's going on. Obviously we're in lockdown. You can't go and get physio or anything like that. And then it just gradually got worse and worse. And then when they kind of released us for a little bit, I remember sort of going to my physios that I'd done. So I think I said before I had lots of injuries, and so I used to go to a place called Isokinetic, and they're incredible, like absolutely incredible. But they've saved my life a million times. But they fixed my body. I was quite dramatic. Fixed my body, but they're very brilliant. They're positive, but anyway, I called the doctor there and said, any chance I can come in? Something's going on with my arm. I don't know what it is. He was like, brilliant. So he did an ultrasound. He's like, it's full of synovial fluid, and that's what's giving you so much inflammation. But it was painful to the point of, if I had it raised like a couple of inches, if I even dropped it like slowly that much, it would feel like my arm was snapping. And I remember and even in that break, I was quite lucky. I was doing a show in that break, and there was one routine we were doing. I had to hold a teacup and just literally do a little routine. We pass it to the next person, and I couldn't even hold the teacup. It was that painful. Wow. And so anyway, I went to them, and he was like, "It's fine. We'll give you a steroid shot, and then that should sort it." So that happened, and then basically little things like that then started happening. My ankle would go, my knee would go, my neck would go, and I just had one day where I'd just been teaching, so I've been really physical. Both my wrists were bad at this point. There's a picture of me literally in like 2 wrist supports, just still teaching this class. Ridiculous. I don't know what's wrong with me, or performers in general.
Because I think
we've all been there.
We've all been there.
We've all been there.
I've broken my wrist, and they're like, here's how you do a press up.
So
like, it's a weird performer mentality.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And it's like a martial arts mentality as well, I think, in the sense of you're just like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I can still walk. What is it? Is it
like, you've snapped your leg.
Is it Monty Python?
Yeah.
I'm still alive.
It's got a flesh wound. Yeah.
It's literally like that. Performers. And then, however, on the way back, the train stopped for longer than it should have done. So I was sat on this train for about 3 hours from Birmingham. Got to Euston, and then I couldn't move. Like I literally couldn't stand up, and I was just sat on the train going, I don't know what to do. So, and when the train guy came over and was like, "Can I help? And what can I do?" And I was like, "Oh, I cannot move." He's like, "Well, we can send you to A&E, we can call an ambulance." And I was like, and I called Fabi in the end, and he was like, "Get in a taxi and come here." And I went there, and straight away he was like, "I was worried it was this, but I didn't want to say it before. I thought we'd just see how your body plays out. But I think you had rheumatoid arthritis, and I think you need to go to doctors and ask them to test." And literally, word for word, told me what to say, because at this point it was still. You couldn't get appointments with things because obviously COVID was still prevalent, but just we'd been released for a bit. I think that's all it was. And then, so very soon after going to the doctors, I had to advocate for myself so much. They literally were just like, "You're fine. You're too young to have that. It's not going to be that." And I was like, "My body's not acting how it should act," she said in a forecast.
Yeah. Still teaching.
Okay.
Still doing Tina.
See, you've got my Tina shoulders, my car.
Just keep these free.
Just keep them. I'm all right.
She's on a hoist and a harness.
Just bouncing artificially.
It works.
You're still singing.
Still sing.
Still there, baby.
But it's but in the end, I managed to get the diagnosis. That was like the end of 2020, so we were back in lockdown by then. Were we? We were back. Yeah, we were back. I think
Yeah, we went back into it.
Lockdown 2.
Lockdown 2.
The sequel.
Yeah.
Infamous.
No one
My
wanted.
God. So then that was horrific. So I had this diagnosis, and it's almost like as soon as my body knew properly that was happening, it just deteriorated, and I couldn't walk for 6 months. So
Wow.
I literally had to retrain myself to walk, and they had to do loads of trials. So with RA, with rheumatoid arthritis, it's very much you have too many white blood cells, and so it's literally fighting against your immune system's fighting against you and stuff like that. So we needed to find the right balance of medication to reduce that. That meant I still had an immune system and all of that business, but it takes a lot of trials. And luckily, within the 6 months, we found an injection that works for me.
That's quite great.
Which
Quick, isn't it?
It's very quick, and it's very rare to find something that you don't have, and it wasn't having side effects. And a lot of my friends that I've become friends with now having the same condition, they have the injection because it means that they can have a life and walk and use their arms and, hold their kids and things like that. But they feel sick, or they get horrific headaches, or and I didn't have any of those side effects, apart from a little bit of nausea, which is like anything that I have side effects wise is like, it's manageable.
Yeah.
So I was very lucky, but it just meant like I couldn't walk for 6 months. But lockdown gave me the opportunity to kind of heal myself in private.
Yeah.
So I was nervous that the industry would go, oh, well, she's got that condition now. Let's not offer her the parts. It's not audition for Alphabet. It's not audition for this. It's not. And I was nervous from other people's stories that that's what was going to happen. So I kept it a secret for quite a long time. And it was only when I did Rock of Ages, that I straight away was like, well, look, this is my condition now. It's very new. I'm back training again. I'm back dancing again, stuff like that. But this will be the first show that I've done since I've had this diagnosis, and since it's we've got it under control, managed. And they were brilliant, to be fair. They were brilliant. And I didn't tell most of the cast for ages. And the one thing you do get every so often, you get like chronic fatigue, and, and if you do have to be careful with your immune system if other people are ill and stuff like that. And so not telling people, it just felt, one, I wasn't being myself, and I'm an open book normally. So it just felt like I was lying to people, so I couldn't quite connect with people. And then sometimes if I was knackered, or I was having to like not go out or not be as sociable, I think some people were a bit like, I thought, my assumption was people were like, Jen's a bit boring, but they weren't. They was the nicest cast in the world. But in the end, I told everyone, I told all the girls, I think it was, oh my God, I just went, whoom, just relaxed so much. And then I didn't have any of the symptoms anymore. And I think it just was holding all of that in and not trusting that it would be a good response, or that there'd be some trouble with saying it. And it was brilliant. The producers had been brilliant. The cast had been brilliant. And if I was having a day that things were swollen or anything like that, I could just be like, oh, my RA is quite bad today. People would be like, brilliant, what do you need? And it was like, it's crazy.
Also, I just think that it's such a great reminder for everyone, even whatever they're dealing with, that your body is not like isolated systems separately. Like that the very idea of like not sharing that thing can and does physically affect you. Yeah. And that's not like, weird psychology nonsense. You're like, no, that's very real fact.
Yeah. And like so many sort of autoimmune, it's mine was caused through chronic stress. Like, I don't have the gene, so it's not hereditary, anything like that. It was it was the chronic stress. So it's any more added stress to that, obviously that's going to make you flare up. So if you can keep that on a level, it is going to help. It has helped over the years. And now I kind of know that if anything's getting too stressed, or the anxiety's playing up or anything like that, I kind of know I have to sit back or try and find a way to, monitor that and manage it. Yeah. And then through that, you're able to sort of manage the RA. So it's luckily, that was 5 years ago. Oh my God. 4 years ago. What year are we? 2025. But yeah, it was the end of 2020. It was Christmas Eve. Yeah, Christmas Eve 2020. And then...
What a gift.
What a gift, exactly. They were so blasé with it as well. They were so blasé.
By the way, you got rheumatoid arthritis.
And I was like, what's that? Literally, I was like, what's that? And I remember them going, okay, so there's a drug that you can take for the rest of your life. You have to take steroids every day for the rest of your life, which you don't. It was so literally just the way of, they
getting you out.
threw everything that they could at you. And they were like, oh, fun fact, they used to, they trialed this drug to cure COVID. In the middle of COVID, this was, I was like, well, obviously didn't work though, did it? It was like, no, it didn't work. But I was like,
Fun fact. Was it fun? How fun is it?
I remember going, is this going to affect my work? They were like, well, I don't know if you're like a dancer or something. And I went,
funny story.
so about that. It was such a shame. And normally I've had such good experiences, but that time in particular, I was like, wow. No, you need to work on your people skills here.
Only if you're a dancer. Or should have asked before.
Yeah, crazy.
If you were.
But interestingly, I've managed it more. I didn't want to take as much medication as they had suggested. And I spoke to a nutritionist and, got a personal trainer, things like that. And then we were like, well, did our research, and dietary things have meant that I can halve the amount of medication I take. And it's helped.
This is the thing people don't understand, and I think it's so useful to hear you just say that bit of going, hey, with a little bit of careful work, with hiring some professionals in this sense, yes, you need, that is a luxury for some people, but actually the difference it can make to your life is profound, that it is worth the investment as long as you hire the right people. You can go, hey, I can make my body feel and work better. Yeah. And from both avenues, right? From going, how do I work this thing? Yeah. Especially when it feels like a new version of your body.
Exactly.
And also, how do I fuel it to improve and reduce symptoms and have it function well again with this new version? Yeah. I love that you have done that and also shared that. Yeah. We should.
Yeah, so good. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, of course. I think it's important too as well, because when I was first diagnosed, I couldn't find anybody. I couldn't find anybody that was going through the same thing. And I felt like really alone. And the community that I found were all American. And they were like, well, why don't you talk about it? Why don't you tell them? I'm like, no, I won't get hired. And I've had nothing but, I haven't stopped working for those 4 years. And I don't say that as a arrogant thing or anything else. I say that in the sense of it hasn't stopped anything. And every producer and creative team that I've worked with have been incredible about it and really supported it. And it hasn't affected my abilities. If anything, it's actually, my body's probably stronger now because I understand it more, understand my body more. And I know what I can and can't do. So I obviously wouldn't. I've never been a dancer anyway. So I'm not about to go and do like flash dance or anything. That would obviously not work with my body.
Well, you were Tina on the way in, let's see.
Well, I've got my water thing out there. So just
going to pull the chain.
A couple of split leagues in a row.
But yeah, and I just think this last year, I've just tried to talk about it a little bit more, because the one thing that has happened is every time I've gotten a job, somebody else in the company has gone, oh, I've got that. And I'm like, what? And I think every job I've done, obviously I'm not going to name their names because obviously, but every job I've done, somebody has gone, oh, I've got that as well. Yeah. And so I just think if somebody can reach out and be like, oh my God, I think Jenny Fitzpatrick's got that. She's still working. I just think you've still got that. It still gives a little bit of hope, and then just kind of shows that it's, that it is fine. You just need to find what works for you moving forward, whatever your thing is. It doesn't have to be the RA, but it could be anything. And then, so many sort of autoimmune things out there now that everyone's getting more knowledgeable about. So yeah, if it helps by sharing it slightly, I'm happy to do it now.
Love that. Yeah. Is there anything? Moving on. Is there anything about the industry or about health and fitness or anything at all that you'd like to see get in the bin?
Ooh, goes on a rant. No. I think, okay. So little things like, okay, how do I say this correctly? People should always be celebrated for going on as their cover parts, 100%. Sometimes it frustrates me when the creative team, if the creative team haven't adequately prepared their covers, alternates, or anyone, and they're like, well, it doesn't matter. If you go on, you'll just be someone that saved the show. That mentality, I think, is really unhealthy. And I think performers go, oh, yeah, no, that'll be cool, because they're kind of fed that information. When in actual fact, I think the question should actually be, well, why haven't you been rehearsed in? Why aren't you ready to go on? And I
love this. I saw a post from a show the other day. I will leave it nameless. Yeah. And it was its intent was celebrating the swings of the show.
Yeah, lovely.
And they were all saying the craziest things they'd had to do as swings in the show.
Exactly.
And they were like, oh, I had to go on as 2 tracks that I don't cover, and I was covering 2 male parts. And every single swing in this show had an insane story about a track they don't cover and aren't paid to cover that they'd been thrown on that day. And I was like, this is why are you telling people that you haven't paid these people to be appropriately prepared for this?
Exactly.
You haven't prepped for this in any way, shape, or form. I was like, the fact that you think this is a good idea to post on social media as an actual show account is nuts.
Yeah, you're right. That is, as a show account, posting that is mad.
Yeah.
I was like, you haven't. And it was like 7 people.
Yeah, it's incredible, and it's what swings, covers, and alternates have to do is ridiculous anyway for the tracks that they do on a general.
It's hard enough.
It's hard enough. And so sometimes I just think that mentality that is put onto casts, I think, isn't correct. There are times where people have to go on, not have to go on, but there are times where if the cover doesn't go on, the show doesn't happen. And there's times that the performer who's playing that part obviously can't push through. I'm not saying that even slightly, but it shouldn't always be the cast's responsibility to keep that show afloat.
Yeah, those circumstances should be the exception, not the rule. Like, they shouldn't be the norm.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be that
I think that's
you
it.
expect to go on for some random track. Like,
Yeah.
It should be like last resort. We've tried everything else.
Yeah,
Okay, this is our only option to keep the show going. And you go, okay, well, I understand in that situation. Fine.
Exactly.
But it can't be every day.
If a show was running for 3 years and it happened once, I'd go, But when you're like,
100%.
it's happening every 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Like, guys.
And you get producers that do it so correctly and are like, look, this is our situation. Your health comes first, but this is our situation.
Yeah.
Can you do the show tonight? You know, and actually it's not always just covers. Sometimes it's if you're the part or something.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. And so, you know, I had it recently and they dealt with it so correctly. And to the point that I was like, okay, well, this is what I can do. This is what I can't do. And they were like, great, let's make that work.
Yeah.
And so if you work together with it, but it's that I've also on the flip side had somebody go, I was like, I haven't had any rehearsals. And they were like, but if you go on, you'll be the hero. And I was like...
But everyone else is unsafe and the show is a terrifying place to be for everyone.
Yeah.
So, good times.
I was like, you're
It's a
joking.
nightmare.
Oh, gosh. Right. I
So there we
request. That's in the bin.
Yeah.
Definitely in the bin. Well supported by us. Without changing your facial expression, we're going to turn away from you to look elsewhere. And if you're listening to this, it is your time to think back on everything Jenny has said and wonder if she has lied. And if so, what you think it is.
I was never Tina.
I saw it when you walked in.
I've never seen it. That would be the greatest lie.
And if anybody's not watching this, like, the hoodie doesn't lie. Bobby, do you think that Jenny has lied?
There was a point that I did think so.
But you know me, this isn't fair.
Was it the karate?
Can you imagine? No, there was a point that I thought you did, but I actually don't think you have.
If it's the karate, it's the most committed lie we've had the entire time, and I will literally applaud you right now. And other than that, I think there is a lie, but I don't know what it is.
I don't think there's a lie. Oh, God, I don't know.
Okay, let's
so stressful.
Did you manage to tell us a lie?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay, and what was it?
I never wanted to be a stunt woman and I didn't have a horse riding accident.
Oh, the horse riding accident.
horse
I remember when you
riding
said that, I was like, that's why I didn't ask you
it was that period of time that I thought there was one.
I was grasping. I was like, talking about the karate, and I was like, there must be something here that I can lie about.
The stunt woman, but you
No,
followed through with the stunt woman
Do you
thing
know
really
what
well.
Well, I'd tell a lie, another lie. I would like to be a stunt woman, but I'm too accident prone. I
Me
don't
too.
think I should ever be
No,
allowed
this
on a
feels
horse.
dangerous.
I looked at the same thing, and I did mention this when you said accident pro before, but me too, and I also did martial arts. And I was like, it doesn't make sense as a duo of things, and yet here we are. We've got a game.
We've got a game, yeah. We can play a game of this or that.
Oh
so
my
it's going to be
gosh.
1 minute on the clock, either or, essentially like friends. Steffan will give you 2 options. You've got to pick one, and we've got to get through it as quickly as we can.
I'm anxious. Okay.
Sorry, but we'll do it really calmly.
Okay, great.
3, 2, 1, go!
Eggs or bacon?
Eggs.
White bread or brown bread?
Brown.
The US office or friends?
Friends.
Cardio or resistance training?
Cardio.
McDonald's or Burger King?
McDonald's.
Singing or acting?
Acting.
Tina Turner or Nancy?
Nancy.
Yoga or Pilates?
Pilates.
Family Guy or Love Island?
Love Island.
Domino's
Ugh.
Pizza or Papa John's?
Domino's.
Sport or dance?
Dance.
Alcohol or chocolate?
Alcohol.
Matching socks or mismatching socks?
Matching.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Aberystwyth or the Old Witch Theatre?
Oh, the old witch theatre.
Game of Thrones or Glee?
Game of Thrones.
Books or Kindle?
Books.
Clean shaven or beard?
Beard.
Personal chef or personal stylist?
Personal chef.
Opening night or press night?
Opening night.
Sexy or smart?
Sexy.
Shower or bath?
Shower.
Bobby's Bakery or Greg's?
Bobby's Bakery.
Dogs or babies?
Babies.
Snakes or badgers?
Badgers.
Theme park or water park?
Theme park.
Running or walking?
Oh, running.
Director or choreographer?
Choreographer.
Bobby or Steffan?
Boban.
Nice. 45 seconds. That was rapid.
Aberystwyth.
Aberystwyth or the Aldrich. Just gold.
Brilliant.
My parents went to Aberystwyth like 2 days ago.
I love Aberystwyth.
There's
That's why I was
dolphins
coming
at
out.
Aberystwyth.
There are.
Yeah.
It's a lovely
Spent
little
many a
place.
summer in
You
Aberystwyth.
have.
I love
you
Aberystwyth.
have.
Big fan.
Traumatic place for you.
I love it, man. he's just putting it on me.
Thank you so much for joining us, Jenny.
Thank you.
It has been an absolute pleasure. And thank you at home or wherever you might be for watching or listening.
Yeah, and if you have enjoyed this episode, you know what to do. Click those like and subscribe buttons. Find us on Instagram at FitToPerform West End. As always, if you've got any questions you want answered, you know what to do. Slide into those DMs. I'll be in there riding a horse.
Thanks again for listening. If you like what you've heard, we have been the Fit to Perform podcast with our wonderful guest, Jenny Fitzpatrick, and your hosts, me, Steffan.
And me, Bobby. And if you didn't like it, we've been Joe Wicks. Peace out.